Hello and welcome back to the Creators Lounge, joined by some really smart human beings here. Tony Schmitz, Chad Duty. I almost did it again, Chad. You got it in my brain. Tony, I want to come back to you. You've got some core programs that exist within ACE, and I really want to drive this message home. Talk to us about those three programs.
Yeah, terrific, and I want to talk about it too. So we have CNC machining. I'm very proud of that. That was the first one to launch, and that was the one that had the first in-person experience. The second program to come, which goes hand in hand with CNC machining, is metrology, or measurement.
Yeah.
I began my career at the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, and so metrology is embedded in my DNA. And so the second online program was metrology, and that has gone on for about 3 years now. Recently, now we have an in-person metrology training that's going to be rolled out to all of our existing CNC machining locations. Really excited about that.
That's pretty amazing because they do go so hand in hand.
Yeah, you can't have one without the other, as we see at the show here.
Absolutely.
The third program that I'm developing curriculum for right now was at the request of DoD, and that's around smart manufacturing. So it's been around for quite some time, but as I think about small to medium manufacturers and folks who are very familiar with making things, maybe not so familiar with the digital world, how do we let them engage and decide to make that investment into smart manufacturing? That's what I'm trying to do with this curriculum, is remove some of that mystery and figure out how they can engage and decide, is this for me? And if it is, how do I leverage that to become more productive?
That's awesome. Tony, there's no slowing down. We need to put as the guy at the Hexagon or Hendrick Motorsports guy told me the other day, got to mash the gas. We have to mash the gas here with these kinds of programs. How do we expose the broader national community to programs like ACE?
Well, first of all, the landing point is americascuttingedge.org, right? You can go learn about the program. That's where you register for all of our courses online, all offered at no charge, and also where you can sign up for what we call our boot camps, our in-person training opportunities. Sure. Because my curriculum is CNC machining, metrology, and soon smart manufacturing, that's what I've talked about, but we have other offerings, not the least of which is composites training by IACME. And so the CTO for IACME, Uday Vaidya, has developed a program that's similar to the ones I described, but now focuses on composites. Wow. And has in-person component for that effort as well. So that's where we are today. We're bringing another major initiative under the ACE Net or ACE Network umbrella, and that's called METAL. That's also from IBAS support, also through IACME, and then we have principals at Penn State University, University of Tennessee, that are developing a casting and forging curriculum with an in-person experience.
Wow.
Yeah, so obviously we have supply chain challenges in the U.S. around castings and forgings. So this is to develop that next generation workforce that's necessary, well, today generation workforce that's necessary, and complement the other programs that we produced earlier.
And I'm going to throw you a curveball here because as you were talking, it came to me. We do need that current generation workforce, right? And a lot of our workforce development efforts are, how do we get that next generation through the door? How do we focus on the people today that are of working age, that are ready to be deployed into manufacturing facilities, but may not have that training? Is ACE that solution for that generation now workforce?
So I'll say a few words, and I'd like Chad to comment on that as well. I think it is because it's a low investment. We're talking a few hours online for you to decide, am I interested in this? Would I like to proceed? And then if the answer is yes, then let's get you in person, get your hands on some stuff, and you can say, yeah, this really is fun, or I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
That's okay, right? We want to get that answered right away before you make further investments to becoming, that next generation worker.
And that is going to help with retention efforts from manufacturers, right? They could use this as a tool, hypothetically, put the free resources that you have in front of applicants that may never have been in a shop before, coming from fast food or retailer or another career, and looking at this as a sustainable way to get through. We see that all the time. People are leaving those jobs after just a couple of weeks because they thought it was something different than it really was,
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I like it.
And that's a big part of it is exposing them to what the technology is and what the job would be like and what's involved, right? So it's exposing, it's educating. That's one of the things that ACE, I think, does really well is that we are tapping into the voice of the experts. So we're having world experts developing the CNC curriculum. We're having world experts develop the composites. As we're going into metal program, we're going up to Penn State where the world experts are. And so they know what the industry needs are. They know, so students will come in and not just see old school, dark, dirty, dull, dangerous. They're going to see the new cutting edge techniques that will inspire them to say, you know what, I could do this for a living.
That's
it
cool.
pays well, it's fun, and it's advanced. So that's where I want to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tony, last question before we wrap up here. At these boot camps, they have to be a sustainable model, and they're not free to you. They're not free in general, right? So how do we get people to sponsor and to be a part of this journey with ACE, with you, with all the other organizations you're involved with? How can we get the people here at IMTS to be a part of this journey?
Yeah, terrific. So I think, first of all, it is answering the question, why would I invest in something like this? I think my answer to that question would be, do you have any workforce challenges? If you can answer yes to that question, you want to be a part of ACE.
Right.
Because we are training these students, and I say students loosely. We have high school to 65-year-old participants, right? But these participants, we are training them in today's technology so that they can immediately make an impact when they join your organization. I believe through a sponsorship opportunity and having a presence at the end of the boot camp, it is an unparalleled recruiting opportunity.
Sure.
And by the way, you're talking to a group of people who have already done online training, completed it. We know they completed it because we have quizzes throughout the training. And then they took a week of their own time and traveled on their own dime to participate in this learning opportunity. And they finished that week meeting you. You know what?
They've
what
got
more could
skin
you
in
ask
the
for?
game.
Yeah.
And that's what changes the dynamic, I think, is when people do have skin in the game, right? Gentlemen, this has been a really cool, very enlightening conversation. I really appreciate you both being here. Everybody, Tony Schmitz, Chad Duty, Oak Ridge, and IACME, thank you for joining us for this segment in the Creators Launch. We'll see you on the next episode.